Plants vs Zombies. It was once the big baller in town, but recently it kinda fell off because of this fucking mess of a company. But how did it come to this? Let me explain. PopCap Games was founded by John Wetche, Brian Fiat and Jason Kapelka in 2000. Before Plants vs Zombies, they developed a lot of games like Bejeweled, Peggle and Bookworm, which were all quite successful. But this video is about Plants vs Zombies, so I won't go into detail right now. Oh, and if I said any of those names weirdly, I'm sorry. Plants vs Zombies was released on May 5th, 2009 for Windows and Mac, with critical acclaim. It was awarded many awards. It sold 300,000 copies in its first 9 days, and in its lifetime it got sold on every possible platform. On Windows, Mac, every phone, Xbox, PlayStation Vita and Nintendo DS. It is on everything. You can probably find a toaster version somewhere. Overall, it was a great game and a breath of fresh air to the tower defense genre, with endless replayability, because of the tons of game modes that are in the game. I'm not gonna describe the whole game here, because 90% of people probably already played it. But if you haven't played it, you should 100% get it. It's free on mobile, and trust me, you will get addicted. It is loved by millions of people. It's a classic.
Here comes the money.
Because of the success of Plants vs Zombies and PopCap's other games, the gaming giant EA became interested in PopCap, or the money they can make from it, so they bought PopCap Studios and all its assets on July 12, 2011 for approximately $750 million. And that purchase was the beginning of the end for PopCap. Plants vs Zombies 2, released on July 9th, 2013. Just like Plants vs Zombies 1, it also was a great success. However, it was a mobile exclusive, which didn't sit well with many fans, but it still was downloaded over 200 million times on all mobile devices. It was basically just Plants vs Zombies on steroids, more worlds, more plants and zombies, better comedy, mechanics and art. Also new features like plant food. But there was some corruption from EA that made the game worse. Like this fucking mess. The stupid difficulty spikes and the shitty leveling system, but it was still a good game. Plants vs Zombies Garden Warfare came out on February 25th, 2014. It put a spin on the Plants vs Zombies formula by being a first-person shooter. It had a lot of cool features like many character variants that changed the playstyle and look of the plants and zombies, and the way you unlock these variants is also cool. You have these card packs you buy with coins you get by playing, doing quests or buying them. And this is very well made. It's not pay to win or anything, because you get a lot of coins just by playing the game. The game also has a lot of cool game modes, as well as a single player campaign. The second Garden Warfare, which came out on February 23rd, 2016, is just a better and more polished version of the first game, with everything the first game has to offer, plus a lot more. So yeah, the second Garden Warfare kinda makes the first one obsolete. Plants vs Zombies Heroes came out on October 18th, 2016. And this game is basically just a Hearthstone ripoff, with Plants vs Zombies slapped on it to milk the franchise for every dollar. It's just like every other online card game, pay to win. It's basically EA in a nutshell. It's not even that good. When I played it, at some point I just got shit on by little Timmy with his mom's credit card. If you have fun with it, fine. But at least be honest about what it is, a cash grab. I don't get this game. Plants vs Zombies Battle for Neighborville came out on September 4th, 2019. It was a sequel to Garden Warfare 2, and it changed a lot. It had an unnecessary graphical overhaul, which isn't actually that bad. The bad things were the removal of the character variants and the card system, which were big and fun parts of the game. There was also a lack of cosmetics, so there wasn't really a reason to play the game, because it took ages to unlock something. This did not sit well with fans. They were disappointed, so now the game is very dead. Even the original Plants vs Zombies and Garden Warfare 2 have more players now, and I don't get it. They just had to make Garden Warfare 3, put in some new variants, plants and zombies, maps, and boom, a good game. But no, they had to change everything for the sake of changing. It's just so unnecessary and dumb. And all of this is very sad. The Garden Warfare games were great games, with big communities, and EA just shit on them. I still don't get what the executives at PopCap were snorting to greenlight this. On the 16th of July 2019, a first alpha version of Plants vs Zombies 3 got released with very heated reactions. It looked more like a Chinese knockoff than an actually mainline Plants vs Zombies game. So 10 months later they took it down with the plan of remaking the game with people's feedback in mind. And then on the 7th of September a remade version of Plants vs Zombies 3 came out. Its feedback was a lot better than the first build, but it still wasn't very good, and it still needed a lot of work. So a second beta got released on April 5th, 2022, but there wasn't actually a lot that changed. Now let's talk about the game. They changed a lot. The game has a new art style which isn't actually bad, I actually kinda like it. But the problem with it is that they already have a very good and established art style for the tower defense games. It's the same as with Battle for Neighborville. It's changed for the sake of change, which is just confusing. Then there is the new sun system. Now it's not in intervals of 25 but 1. And this really doesn't bother me, because the main gameplay is still the same. But that's what I mean with change for the sake of changing. It's just unnecessary. And then there is this Lily's Garden / Homescape bullshit with lives and taco tickets. I didn't actually play the game, so I can't go into detail, but from what I saw, I can say that it doesn't really look good for the future of Plants vs Zombies. The Plants vs Zombies franchise is great. It influenced me personally a lot, and I love the early games, but I don't see a future for the franchise. Plants vs Zombies 3 does not look very promising, and it is uncertain if a new Plants vs Zombies shooter will even come out. And all that is very sad. They had something great, but greed and stupid decisions destroyed it. The only thing we can do is complain and wait.
Sorry, I can't be your man. I'm sorry, she a fucking fan. I get bread, all these fucking bands. I was 7 years old, on God,